100 Harsh Life Stoic Lessons That Made My Life So Much Better. A Sculpted Grace Original. Introduction. There comes a point in every man's life when silence becomes louder than words. When you realize that no one is coming to save you, no one truly understands your pain, and no one is responsible for building your peace but you. The world doesn't hand out calm or purpose, it tests you, pushes you, breaks you, until you learn to stop depending on it. This is the threshold where strength is forged, not in comfort, not in applause, but in solitude, rejection, and quiet resilience. Stoicism isn't about becoming emotionless. It's about controlling the chaos within you. It's about standing in the storm without flinching, learning to breathe while the world burns, and walking forward when everything around you begs you to stop. These are not lessons from ancient marble statues, they are truths written in the fire of life, truths that still apply to every man and woman who seeks inner peace today. Here are the 12 Stoic laws that will make you mentally unbreakable. 1. The law of detachment: let go or be dragged. Attachment is one of the oldest forms of suffering. You cling to people, outcomes, and memories as if they define your worth, but they don't. The Stoics understood that pain begins when we demand permanence from temporary things. Seneca once said, "He suffers more than necessary, who suffers before it is necessary." Letting go is not about losing care, it's about releasing control. The moment you stop grasping what's already fading, you begin to breathe again. Think about how many sleepless nights you've spent trying to fix someone's perception of you or chasing closure from someone incapable of giving it. True strength lies in walking away without bitterness, in understanding that sometimes the story ends not because it failed, but because you grew. Detachment teaches you that peace is not found in holding on, but in mastering the art of release. 2. The law of boundaries: stop explaining yourself. Being kind doesn't mean being available to everyone. Too many people drain themselves proving their goodness to those who will never see it. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." A Stoic does not beg to be understood. He draws a line not from arrogance, but from self-respect. Boundaries are declarations of worth. When you say no, you're not rejecting others, you're protecting your energy. 3. The law of self-reliance: no one is coming. The hardest truth to accept is that no one owes you anything, not love, not loyalty, not understanding. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Waiting for others to validate your worth is like waiting for a ship that's never sailing. Self-reliance is the cornerstone of Stoic strength to build your stability from within, so external chaos cannot touch it. When you become your own foundation, loneliness loses its sting. You stop needing constant reassurance because your actions become your validation. You wake up earlier, you work harder, and you hold yourself accountable. It's not pride, it's power. Every man who has built something great began by understanding this: the moment you stop expecting, you start creating. 4. The law of silence: privacy is power. In a world that celebrates noise, silence is rebellion. The Stoic knows that energy scattered into gossip, oversharing, or validation seeking is energy lost from mastery. Marcus Aurelius warned against wasting breath on things that do not serve virtue. When you work in silence, your results become your voice. There's power in mystery in keeping your dreams sacred, your goals private, and your emotions grounded. Tell fewer people what you're doing and show them more when it's done. The modern world believes attention equals value, but the Stoic knows otherwise. Still waters run deep. The less you reveal, the less you can be manipulated. Protect your silence like treasure because it is. 5. The law of emotional discipline. Rule your reactions. Every battle you lose is lost first in your emotions. When anger blinds you, when envy poisons you, when sadness paralyzes you, you surrender control. Epictetus said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you react that matters." Stoic mastery begins when you no longer let emotion dictate your behavior. The modern world rewards outrage, impulsivity, and overreaction. But the Stoic remains calm not because he feels nothing, but because he chooses his response. It's the pause between stimulus and reaction that defines character. When you train yourself to respond with thought, not impulse, you rise above chaos. And that's how true power looks, not loud, not violent, but steady and unshakable. 6. The law of selective association. Protect your circle. Show me your friends, and I'll show you your future. Seneca advised, associate with those who will make a better man of you. You cannot evolve surrounded by people committed to mediocrity. Your circle is either sharpening your edge or dulling your spirit. Choose wisely. The people you spend time with will influence your habits, your mindset, and your peace. Walk with those who remind you of discipline, humility, and ambition, not distraction. Don't be afraid to outgrow those who mock your growth. The Stoic understands that solitude with integrity is better than company without direction. 7. The law of solitude. Use loneliness as fuel. Loneliness is not the enemy, dependency is. The Stoics often withdrew from society to master their minds. In solitude, you hear the truths the noise tries to drown out. You learn that being alone is not punishment, but preparation. Think of solitude as a forge. It burns away distraction and leaves behind clarity. The man who learns to walk alone becomes immune to abandonment. He builds himself in silence so that when the world returns, he no longer needs its approval. Solitude is where the weak crumble and the strong are reborn. 8. The law of expectation. Accept, don't assume. Disappointment is born from unrealistic expectations. Marcus Aurelius began each day reminding himself, "Today I shall meet people who are selfish, arrogant, deceitful." He expected imperfection and was never surprised by it. The Stoic doesn't demand virtue from the world, he embodies it himself. Expect nothing from others and everything from yourself. When you lower external expectations, you raise internal peace. You stop being shocked by betrayal, delays, or dishonesty because you understand people act according to their nature, not your hope. This is not cynicism, it's wisdom. 9. The law of non-reaction. Indifference is power. Every time you react, you hand your peace to someone else. Marcus wrote, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed." Indifference is not weakness, it's armor. When you stop explaining, defending, or retaliating, you become untouchable. The Stoic doesn't seek revenge or validation. He simply moves on. Let others misunderstand you, truth doesn't need witnesses. When you train yourself to respond with calm indifference, you no longer live at the mercy of others' opinions. You gain control not by fighting every battle, but by walking away from those that don't matter. 10. The law of persistence. Discipline over mood. The average man quits when motivation fades, the Stoic endures. Endure and persist, said Epictetus. Discipline is the bridge between dreams and reality. It's doing what must be done regardless of how you feel. You will not always be inspired. You will not always feel strong. But if you move forward anyway, you become unstoppable. The Stoic treats every repetition, every setback, every small effort as a sacred act of progress. He knows consistency beats intensity. Discipline is not punishment, it's freedom disguised as routine. 11. The law of acceptance. Amor fati. The Stoic doesn't fight reality, he flows with it. Amor fati. Love of fate means accepting life exactly as it is. You cannot control the weather, time, or other people's choices, but you can control your attitude toward them. Acceptance is not surrender, it's mastery. The moment you stop resisting what is, you stop suffering over what isn't. Every obstacle is an opportunity in disguise. The Stoic learns to say, "This, too, is part of the plan." That's not passivity, it's power. Because when you love fate, you can't lose. 12. The law of gratitude. Choose to see the good. Gratitude is the purest form of Stoicism. Epictetus wrote, "He is a wise man who does not grieve for the things which he has not, but rejoices for those which he has." Gratitude transforms suffering into perspective. It reminds you that even pain is proof of life. When you begin to thank life for its trials, you turn obstacles into lessons. Every sunrise becomes a chance. Every scar becomes a story.